What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two different things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll go ahead and shill them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream songs, so check it out. Let me know what you think. It's under the name After Sound. And the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. It's available on my YouTube music channel, so check that out. It's myself and ChatGPT as my AI co-host. We cover a wide range of topics. Links in the description below. I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's jump into the topic of today's video, which is energy. Because I got to give a shout out to VetV, who's been very transparent, sharing data and his experience in modern format during the live streams. And that kind of put me down this rabbit hole of like, just trying to figure out energy, right? Because I'm waiting for this flywheel to take off in terms of, SPS being high enough that people will start paying DEC for energy. And the truth is, we're still seeing a ton of battles happening, even though people are no longer paying the vouchers for energy trade. We're still seeing a ton of battles happening. And what Vet shared is that he's essentially buying energy with Glint. Now, here's the thing. So you're maxing out on Glint, and I don't know what the status of his Soulbound reward cards are for Rebellion, but I'll tell you this. I mean, here, let me even share this with you guys. You can see that, we're not even 3 seasons in, and look at how far along I am at. And I'm playing in low leagues, right? So I'm being very precise with the Soulbound reward cards, or how I spend my Glint is how I should say it. I've been very precise. I'm only spending it on the rarity card draws, not really touching the chest, not even going for the legendaries. And 3 seasons in, I'm already 30% for commons, right? 23% for rares, 25% for epics. Like at this point, I should be able to max these out. And I don't know, like in a couple of months, like it's not going to take that long. At which point, what am I going to spend my Glint on? Well, all of a sudden now I'm thinking about energy. But then I took it a step further than that. And I'm like, well, you could buy the cards on the secondary market, right? Now you can just go and pay for the cards if you really need them, or if you believe that they're going to have, a certain kind of meta or value in the game. You don't really need to pay Glint for them anymore. You can just go straight and buy energy, right? And sure, energy is somewhat capped in the sense where you get 25 per day. Well, you can actually buy more than that, but the cost starts going up exponentially at that point. So I would say, buying 25 energy per day with Glint will probably start to make a lot of sense, especially for folks, whatever league you're in, if it makes sense and you're earning that and can earn it back. Because what that does is it essentially doubles the amount of earnings that you can get every day without having to spend anything, right? You're foregoing the cards, but if you buy the cards, or you just don't need the cards and are going to participate, participate in the game, you can go from 12 wins to 24 wins a day, right? Again, assuming some kind of 50% win rate. The thing is, if you're at the higher leagues, higher levels, your win rate's probably even better. And this is why it's no surprise that we're still seeing, 600s, 500, 600 battles near the top of the leaderboard. So here's the thing, right? Like, in doing the math on this, and I'm not gonna do it in my head, but you got 25 battles times, we'll just say 15 days per season, right? That's 375. You can add roughly another 360, we'll say another 375 on top of that in terms of the energy that you get throughout the season, right? Just naturally. So we're looking, instead of at 360-ish battles per season, it's closer to like 750, right? Which is crazy, which is super high, especially if you are the top tier players that have already maxed everything out and are just going back into the pool. Now, you can look at this and say, okay, well, you know what? This is the benefit for the top tier players, right? This is one of the perks of having spent and having, the talent to play at the highest levels. Sure, like that's fine. And I really am not trying to take anything away. It was just shocking to see how much, in terms of like recycling Glint. So the question then becomes, well, what else will there be to spend Glint on? And especially for the min-maxers that are trying to, get squeeze every penny out. And I'm not trying to highlight the top players here. That's not my point. And I'm not pointing to them. But I'm just saying if the next thing that we're going to have that you could spend Glint on potentially is Glamour, I mean, awesome, right? But that doesn't take away from the fact, like, it doesn't change people's incentives in a play to earn game where you can double your earnings. And at this point, I don't know what it is. You're earning 35 SPS per day. I think I calculated it out to be like $3.50, but we'll just say 35 SPS per day. We've seen that across multiple players. 35 SPS per day times 0.008, right? In terms of like the value of SPS, it's actually a little bit higher than that. So that's 28 cents per battle times 12 battles. Yeah, $3.36 roughly, right? We'll just round it up to $3.50 since SPS is a little bit higher. So $3.50, you're multiplying that up to $7, but this is with SPS at less than a penny, right? And this is where I'm saying it starts to get a little nutty once we move past that, but once we move higher in terms of SPS value. But again, I don't necessarily have a solution to this, and I'm not even trying to frame it as a problem necessarily. Right? I'm just saying that the amount of energy being spent per player per season is still a lot higher than I was expecting. I thought with the voucher for energy trade ending, we were going to be in a little bit of a lower games played per player until SPS started to rise. But Glint is offering an alternative, and I guess what's cool is that Glint's going to offer this alternative, and we could still get incrementally on top of that, right? We could still get the DEC for energy trade once that starts to become profitable. But I don't know. I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, okay, well now, like, what do I do, right? Are there certain cards that I really, really need? Would it be wise for me to just go and maybe buy some of these cards or rent these cards off the marketplace if they're cheaper? Again, they're not necessarily cheaper, right? All these cards are selling for a premium right now, but I would make the argument, and I'm not a top tier player, but I'm sure we can find and pull some top tier players. Not every card is necessary in order to maintain dominance at the top of the leaderboard, right? Or even just be a top tier, top 100 player, which I'm not. I think I'm 600 something, right? So as I think through this, it's like, well, maybe I just start buying more energy, playing more games, maybe rising the ranks. And worst case scenario, even if I just stay in place and I'm winning half my games, I come away with more SPS at the end of the day, right? I get to stack my bags a little bit more and then hope that somewhere down the line, I'll be able to buy the cards that I need and figure out which ones. So again, this is where it comes down to like the whole min-maxing and how do I get more SPS versus how do I get stuff in game? Clearly, I'm not the player's player, right? Where I just want to have every single card. I mean, I do actually want to have every single card, but we're also like, in my opinion, at the start of a bull run, not financial advice, or it feels like we're also at the start of a bull run. I want to get my hands on as much SPS as possible. So if foregoing some of these cards or just, paying 9, 10 cents per BCX for the ones that really, really move the needle and then move on from there, or even still, right? Maybe I just spend another couple seasons maxing out the commons and the rares and then move on, or the epics, right? Those seem to be the ones that are the best. But I don't know. This is kind of just a brain dump here with you guys as I think through this. Like I said, it brought me down the rabbit hole and started getting me thinking about what is my strategy moving forward, because it's very clear if you're a top tier player, you either forgo this right now or buy the cards off the secondary market because you're actually making a decent amount, a decent chunk of change, right? You can make an additional $3.50 per win, per day, right? And you get that SPS, you get additional Glint, all that stuff. So it would actually make sense for you to, I don't know, to me, it makes sense maybe to like buy certain, like maybe common cards that are like, okay, let me just max this out real quick rather than trying to spend on the rarity chest, trying to, get everything that you need. So I don't know. That's just my thought right now. I'm very curious to hear your guys' opinions on this and what your game plan is moving forward. But as I'm trying to stack as much SPS as possible, this has been on my mind. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.